G'day YouTube. I'm just going to do a quick showcase video on my 98 VT. This is just a daily runner and take pretty good care of her, and I've made a couple of tweaks to the engine along the way. So I just want to talk you through it. I appreciate the videos that I've seen on YouTube from other guys showing what they've done and talking about stuff. You learn a trick here or there, saves you a lot of money, and you know, so I appreciate all the other videos that you guys have made. So I've done mostly Mace engineering mods on this. I have the high ratio rockers, I have the plenum spacer and the air intake manifold spacer. This is just new, I put that on last night. I can feel already that it's got a bit more dump to it, so I haven't actually driven it yet, but I can feel just by the responsiveness of the throttle it's going to be better. So the throttle body is also Mace Engineering 69mm throttle body. Now I had to get a Memcal customized to match it, but highly recommended. There's a fella from work who, when we cross paths, he's got a Subaru. We usually line it up. It's a 6-cylinder non-turbo. I don't know what model it is, but it's a fairly late model Subaru. So we were fairly evenly matched before. Since doing this and the Memcal, I'm all over him. It just dumps. This is so cool. Highly recommended. Yeah, it just dumps now right off the mark, and even when we're rolling, she's got a lot more balls. So I really love having done that. So what else have we got? I've got the low, I think it's an 80-degree thermostat in there, so it's a Mace one. Keeps the temperature lower. You can see it on your temperature gauge. I was sitting around half, but now it usually sits around at a quarter on the temperature gauge. What else I got? K&N filter, slightly dodgy. Yeah, I know. Give me a hard time. That's fine. Slightly dodgy hole there. Yes, I cut the side of the box off. It adds a nice growl to it. I'm going to add some piping that's going to come up and feed some more cold air into that. This one still feeds into that area, but I'm going to add another one coming up from below. I have no problems with it. What else? I've gone through this car and replaced pretty much all of the hoses, gaskets, rubbers through it. So there's the heater hoses, new. I've had that for a while. Bottom hose here for the radiator. I had this one. I've got a blue one, but it was just a bit overkill. It's a bit over the top. Too much blue in there. Took away from a nice shiny reservoir, which is new. So the power steering reservoir. I think it looks kind of cool, nice and shiny. So with this, I've had to change to an aftermarket cooler. Just feed the hoses down through here. What else? Extractors, full straight through exhaust. So I've only got 2 mufflers on this, no cat. And this muffler, when I had this put on, I really liked this one, and the guy at the exhaust shop kind of laughed at me. He said, "Oh, no one puts those on Holdens." Probably don't see a lot of these on Holdens, but I really wanted it because it's just straight through. And now the muffler, don't know if you can see that, but it's like a square sort of box style. I don't know what it's called, but that's also straight through, so there's really no bends in these mufflers. It's a pretty free-flowing exhaust. Yeah, the guy, when he put it up on the hoist, he said, "Oh, that pipe's too small for a V8. I said, "It's not a V8, it's a V6. So yeah, it adds a nice note to it. I am slightly bogan, so I like my loud car, and the slightly dodgy modification to the air intake. Word of caution, warning rather, with the Mace plenum spacers, you may have an issue with clearance, because I found that this morning I had to make a little change to my bonnet. So there's another raised section like this, and I had to remove that, and I'm going to clean this up. I'm not finished yet. I just want to get it functional. So I had to remove that. It seems to be working now. I think it was contacting around here. There seems to be enough clearance. I don't know if I'm going to have to put a scoop or something on there. I'll sort that out later, but for now it's operational. So just be aware of that. You may have to spend some time and make some changes. But these mods are highly recommended. I love it. So that's about... Oh, the heads have been slightly ported too. Now I did a bit of a clean up job on those because I've replaced the head gaskets, and just because I just wanted them all new. I keep it all pretty clean in there. I changed the head gaskets at about 150,000 K. So when I had them off, I ported the exhaust ports, just basically made them symmetrical, slightly larger, didn't hog it out, just went with the natural contours that it already had, just slightly better. And the intake, I didn't really do much to that, just basically cleaning out the casting lines just to make it a little bit more efficient. I don't think I want to hog them out too much because I believe you can lose power. So I do notice, I have noticed a change since I did the heads, and should be running well. There's no problems for well over 100,000 Ks, because this thing's done about 270. So without further ado, let's fire it up, show what it sounds like. Now when I get to the back, I tried a video before and it was quite distorted, so we'll see how we go. I'll place the camera down. There we go. So we'll give her a bit of a whiz. I'll place the phone down, and it's probably going to get a bit distorted, but I'll just place it at the back and see how we go with the note there. So I apologise for the video. You're going to get a bit of sky just for a moment, so hang on. So I don't know how that sound's going to come out, but you get the idea. It does get mistaken for a V8, has more than once. Yes, so there we go. So just a quick showcase. Thanks guys for other videos that have been put out there. I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but appreciate that. I've learned a lot. And you know, just little tips like that. If you're going to get these spaces, be aware that you may have a clearance issue. Highly recommended though. I really love all the Mace modifications that I've made. This will get recode in about 100,000 Ks. I'm going to re-hone it. This is just a daily runner, as I said. I've got new injectors too, by the way. No, I got those from a place in Australia. What was that? Can't think of the name. Very reasonably priced. I've had no problem with it. So if you're thinking about doing those Mace mods, because I know there's a lot of talk on the forums and that sort of thing, and I've learned so much from it. So I just wanted to showcase my little thing here. This is just a daily runner. This is the last mod that I'm going to go to to this engine until I do a supercharged project, which will be second-hand engine. I'll hone it and start from there. I'm going to put a big fat supercharger on it. But for now, my daily runner, this is what you get. So that's about all I've got to say. What else have I done? New throttle cable. Little things like that. You know, I didn't notice how tight the gas pedal was till I put a new one on because it was starting to bind up. So I put a new throttle cable on. Beautiful. It's just so nice and smooth. Yeah, that's about all I can think of. Keep your oil fresh, keep your trans oil fresh, and if you're going to think about those mods, I say go for it. You're going to have a lot of fun, and they're pretty easy to do. So yeah, thank you guys, and see you on the net.